Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to take a look at the Retekess TR614. This is a retro shortwave AM and FM rechargeable radio. Alright everybody, welcome back. Now, you know I've been an advocate for having some form of emergency communications after an event. Doesn't have to be something fancy. Doesn't have to be, when I say communications, that doesn't mean you have to transmit with it. It's just a way to gather information. And I've always liked the idea of having the shortwave band included in your AM/FM radios because some disasters you may want to get information from outside the country. You may want to find out information on what's happening in a foreign country, and you're not able to do that with just your local AM/FM stations. So having a shortwave radio added into your AM/FM radio is really, really handy. What we got here is kind of a retro-looking AM/FM shortwave radio. I really like the sound on this. That was really, really impressive for me. It's got a nice portable size. It's 7.9 inches by 1.97 by 4.92. You can carry this with the strap on here. It's got a nice little leather strap, and it actually is real leather. And it's a very simple radio to use. One of the things I like about it is the fact that it is that simple to use. There's no fancy stuff here. There's no filters. There's no tuning. Nothing, no kind of upper or lower sideband or anything. If you're looking for AM shortwave broadcasts, you're going to find it on this. Real simple. The tuning is very simple to use. There's nothing fancy on this. So let's say you're buying this for, say, your grandmother or your relatives or somebody that's really not into radio. They're not radio people. Something like this is really, really convenient. There's not a bunch of learning curve on this. It's just simple AM, medium wave, and shortwave. Tuning is up top. On the back here, we have the plugs. You've got your on-off volume, your headphones, and your charging port. This does charge via USB. One 18650 in there. Really, really simple to use. It's a 1200 milliamp hour battery. If you can upgrade it to a higher powered battery or more amp hour battery, that's perfectly cool on it. The working time for this is about 7 to 8 hours, they say. Charging time is only about 4 hours, and you can replace that battery with a larger capacity battery. So for me personally, a full charge lasted about, I'm out here on the weekends and the weekdays, probably about 4 to 6 hours every day, and it lasted about 3 weekends. So that's really not that bad. I had to charge it back up again. But all in all, I've been testing this out for a while, and I really, really like it. Now, one of the things I want to do is walk you through the AM and FM bands and the shortwave bands and all that. But I want to give you a little bit of specifications on the radio itself. From FM, it's 88 megahertz to 108 megahertz. AM goes from 530 to 1600. These are just the standard, US AM and FM bands. Now, shortwave, it goes from 8 megahertz to 18 megahertz. So you're going to be missing out on some of the ends of the shortwave band, but really not a big deal. That's where most of your broadcast shortwave is anyway in those bands. So it's really kind of convenient. Now, your battery is a lithium battery. It's a 3.7 volt lithium battery. It's an 18650. Your charging voltage is, of course, 5 volts DC. Charging capacity, 1200 milliamp hours, and your speaker is a 6 ohm speaker. It's really simple to use. There's not much to it, and we're going to try it out on the AM and FM bands in a second here. So let me fire it up. Now, I decided to move it over here for AM because I'm under all those lights and there's so much RF. Over here, it picks up our 1 AM station out of Vegas. Actually, very well. This station used to never be able to come in, and they reduced their power. This used to be a 50,000 watt station, and I mean you could tune it in your house on a little handheld AM radio. And then they reduced their power somewhat. So since about Christmas time of last year, it's been really hard to get out here. The fact that this radio can pull that in, that clear, over here, of course, because I'm away from all the RF from the lights, is really impressive. So let's try it out on FM. All right, I have to keep it on an FM talk station. I can't run the risk of getting a copyright strike, so we're just going to keep it on, sadly, NPR. But at least you can hear the sound quality. Let's turn it up a little.
The exit survey, exit interviews that you have with teachers, what are some of the reasons?
So that's really nice sound quality. You do have your speaker, the front firing speaker here, but you also seem to kind of have a little bit of a bass coming out of this back too, so it's probably just the back of the speaker. But definitely awesome FM sound. I mean,
for teachers who are leaving. So
that's really, really
simply,
clear.
Are you
really nice. So, really pleased with it so far. So let's try out one last thing. Alright, so I've got it on WWV time signal on this. You'll notice I have a little antenna clipped on there. Underneath there is my Sangean radio, so this is usually what I use outside here to listen to, and it has upper and lower sideband. This does not. You can turn it up so you can hear it. And it'll fade in and out. It's fading in and out on me, giving me a hard time. But it does have pretty good shortwave reception. We're going to try it without the antenna and see if that helps. And you can't even get anything without the antenna. So I would suggest that you have some kind of clip-on, kind of external deal. If you search my older videos, I will put a link to it in the bottom. You can find where I made a small little indoor dipole sort of antenna out of some speaker wire. But yeah, for not much being on the band. There. That's 1200 160 right there. It's just a broadcast. Out of Cuba, sounds like. Anyway, you see, this radio is capable of getting this stuff in. Let's pull off the antenna and see if we can get it. Yeah. Even without the antenna, I pull up this antenna a little bit. That's pretty darn good. So let me give you some final information on it, where you can pick one up, and we'll wrap up the video. So I really got to say, for what this is, a very basic, simple AM, FM, and shortwave radio, it definitely does the job. Now remember, with the shortwave and the AM, of course, I have to move to the other side of my work area here to get a signal in, because I got a ton of lights coming down on this video, so it's not going to be as clear, you know, in here because of all the RF and all the interference. That's why I moved to the other side, and it's still pulling in that AM station, which is really impressive. It's sort of become kind of like a test for me to see how good and sensitive an AM receiver is if they can pull in that one station we get here out of Vegas. Unfortunately, we don't have any local AM stations here in town. It's just whatever we can pull in out of Vegas, and that's a good 70 to 80 miles away where that antenna broadcast area is. So if they drop their power, sometimes we don't get them. At night, I did try kind of, I guess you could say, DXing on the AM band. And I was able to pull in a bunch of Colorado stations, a bunch of California stations. Those of you on the West Coast in California, you might know 740, which is the big news channel in California, came in clearer than anything at night. So it definitely has potential. And I think it's a good radio to give to somebody maybe who isn't a radio person. They don't want to play around with a bunch of buttons and gadgets and dials and figure out filters and you know, AGC controls and all that. They just want a radio they can plug in or charge up and use, and it works. It does come with a USB charger, just a cable, you know, regular everyday cable. It is a standard USB cable, so plug, so anything will fit in there. It's your typical micro USB. It's not the C style. It's a cool little rig. I really like it, and I'm really impressed that it was able to pick up shortwave even without an external antenna. Now, if you get serious about shortwave and you want to listen to more than just, you know, Radio Cuba out of Havana, and you really want to listen to, you know, further local AM, not AM, local American shortwave, you may want to invest in a better antenna. But for what this does, and if you're not under a bunch of bright lights like out here, generating a ton of RF, you know, that, I gotta say, it's impressive. I had it over by my fireplace, and I just had it sitting there playing this morning, and I was able to pick up shortwave from all over. Unfortunately, I had it on WWV on 10 megahertz. Unfortunately, now it won't come in, even on my other radio. It wouldn't come in. It's, you know, it fades in and out. But at least we got it on 1200, so that was pretty good. Definitely a cool little system. Definitely something you may want to give to somebody who is a senior and, you know, just wants to turn on the radio and have it work and not mess around. They can keep it on their favorite AM station. If there's an emergency or disaster or whatever, they turn on the radio and it's right there. Another interesting thing that I'm seeing, this is just kind of a talk outside of the radio itself, but in radio in general, is a lot of talk stations are moving to FM. They're getting a second presence on FM. That happens to be the case with that AM station that we can barely pull out here, but the FM, you can't pull it in at all out here. If you're over in North Las Vegas, you can pick it up. That's about it. So I'm starting to see that too, so it is handy to have the AM/FM option if you live in a more populated area, because I'm seeing a lot of stuff head over to the FM broadcast band as far as talk, news, information, that kind of stuff that people would listen to on AM. So $29.99, that's what it runs. I'm going to put the links down below. This is from Retekess, and they do have a eBay store, and they're kind of trying to build awareness for that, so I'm going to put the links to their eBay store down there. However, if you want to buy it off their site, that's cool too. So for $30, you're getting a really nice rechargeable, retro-looking radio. I do like the looks of it. I mean, it is plastic. It's obviously not wood, but I definitely like the looks of it. Anyway, folks, that's the video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, I will have 2 links down below. One directly to the radio, and one to Retekess's eBay store. You probably get a couple of little deals there, being that it's on eBay compared to their website, so check them out. Don't forget to check out our links down below. Our Food for Patriots link, which is preparewithiridium.com. You got 25-year shelf life food sealed up in buckets. It comes to you. You can put it away. Just make sure you store water for it. And it's kind of set and forget type situation. No need to worry about it. Our Thrive Life link down below. I am going to be doing a video on this, but I just wanted to let you guys know there's a lot of delivery for you delivery customers. We have a ton of delivery specials. The ground beef and scrambled egg stuff, potato chunks, cauliflower, all the stuff's on sale right now for you delivery customers, you folks who signed up for delivery, so check it out. And don't forget to check out our freeze-dried wholesaler link down below as well. He's got tons of food. We did a video yesterday on it. He's got tons of different freeze-dried food that you can add and integrate into your already existing stockpile. Lots of unusual stuff, too, that you may not always see freeze-dried. Anyway, folks, I thank you for watching. Stay safe and stay prepared.